behind James Hunt. There is Carlos Pace, 3 seconds behind Emerson Fittipaldi. There is Depailler, and there is Jochen Maas, who is in 5th position. That is John Watson, who has been lapped, and there is Jody Scheckter in 6th place. So what a race this is going to be now, because the big question is, can Jean-Pierre Jarier on wet weather tyres hold off the white Hesketh of James Hunt, who is coming down into the hangar straight with Emerson Fittipaldi right behind him. We have done over half distance, 34 laps out of 67, and James Hunt is closing up.
James Hunt's obviously aware that he's closing up very quickly. It's an optical close-up right now. He's right behind the black car. He can see him. The man I think is going to close up on James Hunt's Emerson Fittipaldi, and if I had to gamble again, I would have to say that Emerson Fittipaldi is the man we might be seeing getting the British Grand Prix. But in fact, they've closed right up now. James Hunt really closing up. Jean-Pierre Jarier has to come into the pits, if not on this lap, on the next lap, because his tyre performance is definitely going to go up. And he comes into the pit. And James Hunt is going to take the lead as he comes out of this chicane in the British Grand Prix, the Jean-Pierre's Grand Prix, and the crowd are going wild. Umbrellas in the air, people waving. An enormous cheer from the Woodcock Grandstand. His local boy, or local team, comes out well. The number 24 car, James Hunt, the Lord Hesketh car, without any sponsorship on the car, a very puritanical motor car in white, as he comes round through in the entrance to Beckett's Corner here.
And first time on the leaderboard, Vittorio Brambilla, who was so very fast in practice in the March. But there is the battle, 1st, 2nd and 3rd, with about 5 seconds spanning them. In the lead, James Hunt, 24 in the Hesketh. Right behind him, Fittipaldi coming down the fastest part of the course and out of Hunt's slipstream, and he's going to try and take him, and he's going to do so at Stowe. And Emerson Fittipaldi, the world champion in the Texaco Marlboro car, with a magnificent passing manoeuvre, demonstrating skill, experience and an enormous amount of courage, has gone into the lead of the John Player Grand Prix for the first time. Now, unless we have rain, it could well be that it's all over bar the shouting, although there's a lot of racing to be done, because Fittipaldi, having forced his way through, is going to take an enormous amount of displacing, and Pace is closing up on Hunt. So we complete now lap 44, and the gap between Fittipaldi and Hunt, with Fittipaldi now in the lead, is 1 second as they come down to Copse Corner, the right-hander, which is a 3rd gear, 120 mile an hour bend. And there, that's Stuck. I think that's Hans Stuck, yes. Hans Stuck, who's got caught up in the catch netting. And you can see there is one of the new safety precautions at Silverstone. Rows and rows of wire netting supported by light poles, and they really do have an incredible arresting effect on motor cars. And he is leading on lap 53 by 2 2/10 seconds. Number 1, Emerson Fittipaldi in the Texaco Marlboro car, shaping up to win his 2nd Grand Prix of 1975, having won the 1st Grand Prix of the year in the Argentine. And he is in 3rd position in the World Championship. There is the battle between Hunt and Scheckter. And again, Jody Scheckter will try and come out of the slipstream of James Hunt. Maybe he'll do it a little earlier this lap, but he's done it. He's done it. Jody Scheckter is through into 3rd position. So and look at the way now, he's already starting to streak away from James Hunt, as on lap 53 in, I remind you, this 67 lap race, another 14 laps to go, and they are each 2.9 miles long. Jody Scheckter, who started, of course, on dry tyres, who went on to wet tyres, and who led the race from lap 27 until lap 32, until he had to go in and change his tyres again, and then rejoin the race in 6th position, back into 5th, and then into 4th, and then he's got past James Hunt into 3rd position, and now the only 2 cars in front of him are those of Emerson Fittipaldi and Carlos Pace. Emerson Fittipaldi is leading Pace by 3 2/10 seconds, and the gap between Carlos Pace, number 8, in 2nd position, and Jody Scheckter, number 3, is 8 seconds. And there is Scheckter coming into Copse with Hunt behind him in 4th place. In 5th position behind James Hunt now, it's Vittorio Brambilla in the March. In 6th position, it is Mark Donoghue. In 7th position, it's Jarier, who has fought his way back. In 8th position, it's Jochen Maas. And in 9th position, it's Tony Bryce. Emerson Fittipaldi then down the fastest part of the course, the 170 mile an hour hanger straight on lap 54. Now, can Jody Scheckter catch back any of those 8 seconds from Pache in front of him? Jackie?
The only way that he's going to catch that time back is if we have more rain. I see rain at the far end of the circuit now, and that's where it arrived from the last time. Emerson Fittipaldi is obviously looking at the weather conditions as well. He's trying to get the biggest cushion he can get. He doesn't drive as quickly, I don't think, in these changing conditions as, for instance, Jody Scheckter might drive, because Jody, the car you're looking at now, number 3, the blue Elf Tyrrell Ford, in fact, he's a very aggressive driver. Now, I see that rain coming up from Beckett's corner, and the place you're liable to see rain arriving from is Beckett's and Stowe. This is the other side of the circuit you're looking at, the new chicane where Jody Scheckter's going through there. He's sliding through. He's 7 seconds behind Carlos Pache. He's closed up over a second on that lap. He's obviously fighting his way through. This young driver who's done so well from South Africa for Ken Tyrrell, the man who took my position in the Tyrrell team. You can see the umbrellas are up. You can see them there. The spectators, look at the umbrellas. They're going up very quickly. Emerson Fittipaldi, well, he must be really shaking at this time because he knows that he doesn't have much of a cushion. This, to a racing driver, is a psychological aspect. It's very important. And look at the spray. There was some spray on the tyres down going into Stowe. It's raining at Stowe. Look at the tyres glistening. And look at the clouds and look at the wind. The wind is blowing in the direction from where the clouds are. Lord Hesketh walking across there, preparing his mechanics to come in for a wheel change. Lord Hesketh masterminding this with Bubbles Horsley, the team manager. It sounds like something out of a Biggles book, but there they are. And Emerson Fittipaldi's back onto the dry part of the circuit now. This 3-odd-mile circuit round, and there's somebody having a problem. A car's going into the catch fence right in front of the pits there. We can see it. Nobody's injured. It's Jean-Pierre Jarry climbing out of the car, number 17. He's perfectly all right. It's the changing weather conditions that's done it. Look at how efficient the marshals are. These marshals that have won all of those championships from the GPDA over the last 3 years. Jarry getting out the car, stumbling out the car. He doesn't look as if he's very steady. He's had a knock in the head, probably from one of the poles, but it would have been a lot worse had he in fact hit something more solid. Jean-Pierre Jarry, but there you have the leader, Emerson Fittipaldi. He's lifting up his visor. He's having his visor steam up. He's having difficulty in visibility. My goodness, what are they going to do? Are they going to come in for a quick wheel change? Emerson's going very cautiously and very slowly round the corner. Right now you can see how carefully he's going. He's still in the lead. Look at him lifting his visor. You see him putting up his right hand to lift his visor. It's steaming up. Visibility, of course, is enormously important for a racing driver. And in these changing conditions, not only has he had to have visibility, as you can see him now. Look at him lift his hand up there. He's going in. He's got to worry about the aquaplaning. If there's a deep pool of water there, these slick tyres that they run only on the dry cannot accommodate that. And look at the spray. Visibility is almost impossible. If you're behind a car, you cannot see more than 20 metres or 20 yards in front of you. You're just following the tyre marks on the road. We're above the cars. We're getting the opportunity of looking down through the spray, but the drivers at the same trajectory are having a lot of trouble. There are many cars coming into the pits. There's cars sliding all over the road. This is a situation which is very critical with only a matter of 11 laps to go. And Fittipaldi, is he coming into the pits? He is coming into the pits. Emerson Fittipaldi, the leader, is coming into the pits. He's on the pit lane, and look, we've had an accident, a multi-car accident, and James Hunt has spun and crashed into the other cars. He's crashed into the car, number 19, who of course is Morgan. There's a few. Jody's in there. Jody's crashed as well. He's come out of it. Jody's walking out of it. Morgan's out of it. Everybody's out of it. You can see the BRSCC marshals there. Everybody's on the business there. And there's another car, Wilson Fittipaldi. This is aquaplaning. This is the problem. Fittipaldi's in the pits, remember. The leader, Emerson Fittipaldi's gone into the pits. The pits look like Piccadilly Circus. Emerson Fittipaldi is leaving the pits. Wheel spin as he goes out on dry tyres. Now he, therefore, is in a very strong position. Carlos Pache we don't know about. They're trying to. There's many problems there. You can see the troubles in there. There's another car stopped. That's Watson stopped. Number 2 car of Mass stops as well. Goes into the chain link fencing. This is a problem for racing drivers. They just can't handle this heavy rain. There's the car number 28, the First National City Bank car of Mark Donoghue. He's okay, he's getting out of the car. They've got seat belts and everything else.
And it looks as though they are stopping the race. They have wisely decided to give it best in these appalling weather conditions. And Emerson Fittipaldi will undoubtedly, in that situation, be declared winner, having gone into the pits, changed to wet tyres. The ambulance is out on the course here at the start and finish point, and the course is perfectly clear. And they're spinning, as you can see, everywhere. And around the far part of the course, you have seen the cars going off. There is Tony Bryce, and that's Emerson Fittipaldi with the marshals frantically waving him down. And you can see now how utterly critical the right choice of tyre in conditions like this is. The yellow flags are out, the oil flags are out, everything is out. And we're looking down now as official cars go out onto the course, and great roosters of spray. There's one of the official British Leyland 1822 cars going out onto the course as Emerson Fittipaldi comes round towards Woodcote and the chicane. And it's going to be very interesting indeed to see what he does here into the chicane. And the race is stopped, the red flag is out, and Emerson Fittipaldi goes on. And so there we are then. Jackie Stewart, your comment.
The red flag is out. Emerson Fittipaldi's hand is in the air. The marshals are out with the yellow flag. The race has been declared stopped. Emerson's asking the marshal whether the race is finished. He says yes. Emerson will undoubtedly get out of his motor car right now. The sort of trouble that occurred there